It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hello and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Josh. I'm joined by a host named Caleb.
Hello.
And another host. His name is Gabe. Shut up, Caleb.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, sorry, Gabe. Let's get it clean. Let's get it clean. I'm joined by Gabe.
Hi.
What were you going to say, Caleb?
You called me a host named Caleb, and I was going to say, just like the Johnny Cash song.
A host name. Oh,
Go
a
ahead.
boy named Sue?
Oh, okay. Not
A
so not
host.
just like the Johnny Cash.
A couple of major alterations. You'd say the most significant, specifics in the sentence.
Sounds a lot like the Johnny Cash song.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a much lamer song.
Host named Caleb.
Like the story of the song is that they're like, you're not a host. They're like, your name's not Caleb. And you're like, no, it is.
Yeah, well, everyone thinks
am.
I'm not a host because my name's Caleb.
Okay.
And it's
Right.
made me
Hey,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
made
that's
me
right.
very strong.
Yeah.
I go to host something, and people go, but you couldn't possibly be the host. Your name's Caleb.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, gosh darn it, Dad.
Oh, now I've got to become an even better host.
Yep.
A more powerful
So
host.
it's synonymous. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we have a question. It's an interesting one. It is sent in by fan and podcast favorite Joy, but it is not a question from Joy. Let's have a listen.
My name is John. I have a question. Why do girls like romance so much?
A heavy question this week.
Whoa.
Why do girls like romance so much?
Oh my gosh.
Is that true?
Yeah.
First of all, let's
Right.
just deal with it. This is clearly a younger listener.
Sure.
We have to sort of, investigate the question a little bit. Is that even true? This is just something that some little kid is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
But,
right?
out of the mouths of babes.
It's certainly precedented.
Sure.
Falls food.
Yeah, lots of times.
Slobber.
Yeah.
Slobber food.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Truth.
Crayons.
Just kind of.
Yeah, some truth mixed in there.
Yeah.
Paste. And truth.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Did you already mention bugs?
Didn't say bugs.
Oh, sometimes.
Bugs.
Sometimes bugs.
Bugs plus truth.
Crunchy truth.
I think it's true.
Girls like romance.
I don't think, there's too much to debate here.
Maybe the way if we
It's a
can.
broad statement.
Yes, exactly. There's the whole thing of like, in my own personal experience, I have found that girls seem to like romance. And I think there's an implied, like, girls are more interested in romance than boys. Is that,
They're more. I think they're. I mean, as a young boy, I was pretty interested in romance.
Sure.
I like there to be a romantic plot in a given movie that I was watching.
Okay.
Now,
I
was
wasn't-
this romance? Was it a machine that you wanted to be? Women like relationships, men like machines.
Okay.
Right.
So in this, when you say romance, I liked romance. Is that because it was like there's a robot?
When I was little, I didn't mind a romantic plot. Maybe that's abnormal for boys. I'm just speaking my truth. But I wonder if it's just more, normal,
Yeah.
or just more
Right.
generally accepted for boys to
Accepted.
not say
Yes.
that they like that.
I think it's just that.
Because I don't
you
think I would walk around going like, "Hey, I really like a romantic
Yeah.
plot in my Star
No,
Wars."
I mean, I
or-
think about watching like The Lion King or something and always kind of rolling my eyes at the "Can you feel the love
Yeah.
tonight?"
Yeah.
Sequence, but still
Yes.
understanding that
Yeah.
there's something to this,
Yes.
right? Like
Well, you're
there's
just sort of embarrassed
something
by it.
engaging.
But see,
Absolutely.
See, that's the
Yeah.
thing that's kind of happening there, right? Is like both sexes are embarrassed by these things. Like my girls, when we watch a movie and there's a boy that kisses a girl in a movie, they're
Yeah.
kind of embarrassed.
Oh
by
yeah,
it.
definitely.
They're like, it's like exciting or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's embarrassment is the
Yeah.
main thing.
Yeah.
And the boys are also that way.
Yeah.
But they're more just their stance is going to be like, well, I'm not like a sissy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, because like, dude, it is wild how much of that is innately part of a boy
True.
to be like, I'm not a sissy, so I don't care about, I don't like kissing or
Yeah.
anything like that. And then you go through, a phase where
I'm not a sissy.
you
You
know,
know, like
I'm not a sissy, and I like kissing.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Then you get to where you're like, oh, I know now it's not sissy.
It's actually
Like kissing.
incredibly
because I think what it
yeah.
is you're getting past. You're imagining kisses are from your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Sorry,
is
Mom.
like at a certain point you're like, you
Or-
don't want that anymore. You
or
don't want to
for-
be a little mama's boy.
Or for one of my friends, when I was probably 12, he was 13, we were leaving to go on a youth retreat, and to our surprise, he kissed his dad on the lips
in front of you guys?
Yeah.
in the church parking lot.
Wow.
Was he? I mean, you guys gave him
Oh, absolutely.
so much
Yeah.
for that.
It was
What a huge mistake.
it was. You could tell that he kind of was doing it without thinking about it, and then like
realized what
was
happened.
happening.
He kissed his dad and it went beet red.
There is something that is so sweet about that.
It
you know?
is.
Like to just be like, oh yeah, it's my dad. I'll
It's
give him a quick
whatever.
switch.
Love
Like
my dad.
like that aspect of it, just not even thinking about it. But then,
Yeah,
totally
you-
understandable that in the immediate
you
aftermath,
could not do that in front of your
you'd
friends.
just be like,
Nope.
oh,
yeah.
Nope, totally not a big deal from an adult vantage point. Why not? Not a big deal. Those
Yeah.
things are mostly like there's got to be something primarily cultural about that.
Yeah.
In like a current moment, I bet through history, men have kissed their fathers on the lips.
Yeah.
That's just been standard practice.
Mostly, yeah.
But
And
but now there's just no way.
And don't take this, Dad. If Dad's listening,
Yeah.
I'll speak for myself. But
Yeah.
I don't want to start doing this.
No,
Right, right.
no. None of us. None
I'm
of us
good
do.
where we're at.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm good
Well,
where
there's
we're
just so much opportunity for kind of mustache entanglement.
Oh,
Yeah.
at. It's I don't want to know what that's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
Yeah, that's not part of our lives.
It seems like we're kind of landing on girls. There is something about girls liking romance,
Right.
They're at least not. They're more quickly able to go. I think.
Yeah. So
switch between those.
Why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that? Part of me thinks that if you want a natural protection for girls against choosing a bad mate, the ability to grant to like work within the female system of romance seems like a good screening process. If you can't do that,
Yeah.
if you can't deliver on some romance, even if it's not your inclination of your sex, then it does seem like a good like first level screening kind of thing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I will say, lots of men love to use that to their
Yes,
advantage.
sure, of course. All these things can be manipulated,
Yes.
but the capacity for it might be more of an indication than like if you just can't do it at all, that might be more dangerous than,
Yeah. If you're
than
like,
if you're abusing it.
yeah. I mean, if you can't do it, then like you're saying,
Yeah.
there's going to be issues there.
Yeah.
So you got to screen for that. Yeah, that's true. But I also think there's just something about like girls kind of get it for each other. Like
Yeah.
there's the social part,
Yeah.
which is just like if you're a boy, you'd have to be a real kind of like gutsy little boy to want there to be a love interest in a story,
Yeah.
and then talk about it
Yes.
because you're gonna get guff
Yeah.
from the other little boys who don't understand yet.
Yeah.
And whereas for girls, I just don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of are on the same side. So you can be more open about that this is something you want. It's
Yeah.
expected of you.
Yes. Exactly. And it seems like for boys, there's something about it that makes sense for them to develop other aspects of their personalities before they get to
Yeah.
that one. It's not it's not as like first rate importance.
And also to think of it from like I don't know if this is anthropology or biology or what it is, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
It hasn't stopped you before. Not being
Not being sure
you know.
which branch of study
Yeah.
this falls into.
You guys, I'll be interested to see what you guys say.
Yeah.
Okay, the idea that that women would oftentimes in the past find a mate or a husband that was older than them.
Yeah, right.
They would have to kind of understand these things.
Boys
before-
have time to develop some of this.
Boys have time to develop it and understand it.
Yeah.
Women, back when what was it? From childbirth, there's a lot of death. Women are sort of just kind of dying a lot. And
Hey, it's a historical truth
it's true.
that most people don't find that funny, but
Caleb.
does. He thinks it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's not that fact is funny. It's just that
that
I'm
you
talking
said it.
about it
Yeah,
right here,
I-
right now. But I'm just because I'm really trying to sincerely understand this, which is that. So then, if you have all these women dying all the time, and you got these widowers, they need a woman, and so then they have to choose from
The crop of
the younger women. I mean, I'm just saying that's sort of how
let's
it
not
worked.
put it. I was about to put an age on it. Let's not put an
No,
age.
let's not put an age on it.
No.
Nope. I'm just saying that's kind of how it works.
Sooner.
So maybe that's why
Yeah.
this is, But I also think that women are predisposed to that. They need,
Yeah.
for one, they need to have that desire first, so that men have to acclimate to it,
Yes.
so that men can see that it's something that they need to do to nurture
Yeah.
on their own part. in
This is a
order
heavy
to-
one compared to previous podcasts. I feel like we're in an actual conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's strange territory.
It's kind of strange.
I don't know what to do about it. I'm over here
I know.
just trying to think about what we could do about
what
that.
and I'm over here thinking about what we could have done better, even maybe in past episodes.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'm glad you brought it up. I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I listened to last week's episode back for
Yeah.
quality control,
Yes.
Yeah.
not for my ego.
Right.
That's not the express purpose.
Right.
That's a perk.
Yeah.
But
Wait, to bring yourself down?
yes,
Or-
exactly. to regulate my ego.
It's just gone wild this
Right.
week. I got to listen to my podcast again.
Big head over the weekend.
Gabe's remembering the podcast and his version of the
Yeah.
podcast is completely insane. It's
Yeah.
just Gabe just destroying both of us
Yeah.
constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And then he listens to it, he's like, oh, I kind of just chip in.
I just mostly quiet. Might say something.
Get talked over.
Hey,
We all have our roles.
Sorry.
But
I'm
the
sorry.
but the
Gabe,
I
I'm
did-
so sorry.
It's fine. Caleb, it's fine. But I did notice that it was much clearer listening to Isaac's question
Yes.
from last week.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
It was much clearer on headphones
yeah.
that he asked a different question than the
Yeah.
one that we answered.
I think we answered it.
We did answer
Yeah.
it, but we did make the mistake of like my wife was listening and she immediately came into the room. He's like, he said need a
Yeah.
babysitter. The question was we couldn't tell that.
I think he
Isaac-
phrased it weird, though. Look,
At what age do you
he's
not
right.
need a babysitter?
He's right.
That's a perfectly fine way of saying
Sure.
that.
I think so, but it's prone to error, as we found out.
Well, just because we
There's a
couldn't
way to
hear
phrase the question that would not have that.
we couldn't hear that initial consonant initial
So wait, what do you
consonant
mean by that, Josh?
and on need, and that was the
That
source
was our
of a lot
undoing.
of and that's something that I have to take responsibility for, because I have typically listened to these questions beforehand so that we don't make mistakes like that, so that we know what the question
We were just
actually
trusting
is.
Gabe because
Yeah.
Gabe had listened to it before.
Yeah,
And so
I
we-
had heard
so-
it before.
yeah,
So
but
we
it
were
had been-
sitting here going, you can hear me in the podcast go, that's so weird. Why? I
Yeah.
can't believe he didn't ask the question that he did ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
I listened to it before, but
But
I
it
always
was-
do when I listen to
Yeah.
the questions. I turn it down really, really low, so I have to listen very closely.
Okay.
And in this case, I can see how that kind of backfired. Usually, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually, it works very well.
Sorry.
Josh had a cough break.
Little cough
Ooh.
break. Some people like a coffee break. I just like a cough break.
Oh, nice.
5 minutes.
Constitutionally protected cough
Yeah,
break.
kind of. It does kind of enliven you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gives you some energy.
Yep. You start to get a little
So
worried.
we apologize to Isaac on the
Big
you
apology
know,
to Isaac
and the
that-
listeners
and the
that
listeners
were frustrated by
were-
this.
Yeah.
Do think about how you're going to phrase the question, though.
Yeah. Like, don't take this as an opportunity to not learn something, you idiots.
Just saying, we do answer these questions every week. It's been very
Yeah.
rare that something like this has ever happened. Is
Right.
it really our fault?
And it's
knows?
clear that we are employing a really high level
Yeah.
of consideration and thought into how
Yeah.
everything we're saying, how
Yeah.
we're phrasing things, and
Yes.
Yeah.
so just emulate us in that way is what we're asking, I suppose.
I'm just saying, it's going to be, we're going to put it up there. Everyone's going to hear it
Yeah.
and know how it kind of seemed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And think about it. Think like, fair enough. Isaac was right in this. But think about our next on the line
Yeah.
every week
yeah.
Oh,
here, trying to get this stuff right, trying to be, like Gabe said, be careful in the way that we present ourselves.
Yeah.
Be careful in the things that we say. Make sure that we're qualifying everything,
Right.
the nuance and the subtlety of everything we're saying.
syntax.
There are even our syntax.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's a lot of pressure. And I think that generally we handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so it's kind of irritating that we're getting like fact checked
Yeah.
on all this stuff.
I know. It was a big outcry on the.
Yeah. My wife coming into the
listen-
room. He said need.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there on the couch like,
What did we confuse it?
I'm
with?
sorry.
Me? Babysit
B.
me?
Be a
B.
babysitter.
to be a
To
babysitter.
be a
How
babysitter.
old is too old
Oh,
to be a babysitter?
Now, I'll admit that when we played it, we are like, I can't tell exactly. It seemed strange to me.
Yeah.
The way
Yep.
that he said "be" seemed strange to
It
me.
sounded like, it was like, why is he saying
Guys.
be need?
Yeah,
guys.
to be the babysitter.
Yeah, I mean, it make me honestly
It
when
make me too.
it make me sick to my stomach when I heard that we did that wrong.
Oh man. Just
But like I say, there's a way to phrase the question, which is like, how old is too old
to be a
to be a
babysitter, which is how he
or
said it.
to need? Wait, how did
need
he
a
say
babysitter.
it? To need a babysitter?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no. There's
so-
a way to say it. There's
so-
a way
no,
to
no,
say it
what
that's
you were
different
gonna
that
say-
makes sense.
But what you were going to say was,
yeah.
so that is the wrong way to say it.
Right.
So go ahead and say it the right way.
The right way would be is it are you ever too old to need a babysitter?
But you're
no,
you're
no, I don't think that's
That's the right
You're
way.
keeping-
Why is it more right?
It's
'Cause I
more
think-
right because you're not
because
you're not repeating yourself so much, and it puts emphasis on need.
I think, but I think what you get in the other one is you get a more specific. At what age are you too old to need a babysitter?
Too old to where and what I just said was
I thought maybe you could help us out with that.
yeah.
So it was, you said at what age are you too old to need a babysitter?
babysitter? Yeah, at what age?
Well, no, I think you were missing.
No,
the-
I said because I said
When are you-
when are you too old to need a babysitter?
Okay.
I just spiffed it up. There's you know what I'm sorry I brought us here
Yeah.
No.
because I feel like that I did have a different way that I would phrase it in my
Okay.
when I listened to it,
Yeah.
and now I cannot think of it
You can't
at
think of
all.
it.
So it's this
Well,
week is
thank you.
just we're learning.
History is written by the victors.
Yeah.
And it looks like Isaac's writing this particular
I mean,
True.
saga.
victory, I guess. I'm just kind of bummed because I guess Country Bumpkins
Yeah.
can't hear well.
Yeah. It's all the tractor.
Well,
noise.
I've never been comfortable
Yeah.
with Country Bumpkin. I'm comfortable with tiny little country mouse.
Country
Yes.
mouse.
Country
Sorry,
mouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Bumpkin. You're the mouse.
Mice can actually be rather
What is
intelligent.
Gabe? Gabe's a hayseed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's
Okay.
a
Well,
fair
as
characterization.
slack-jawed Hasty.
Hey,
is what I-
Slackjawed
Okay.
Hasty.
All
I'm a
right.
bumpkin. Josh is a mouse.
I'm a little mouse.
Country. So Gabe's the country.
Can I be a-
Slackjawed Hasty?
Hey, can I at least be a rube?
Yes.
Yes.
A country rube.
Sure. Just a rube.
Was the yeah.
A mark.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, that's if you're in the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if that's your name.
Yeah, that's true. It's not my name.
I
So
felt like
guess I
that.
can't be a
When I
mark.
moved, I lived in Portland for a short time, and I do remember being like, I'm going to be different. I'm going to smile at people on the street and be different
Yeah.
for the first little bit. And then a month in, you're like, nah, done with that.
Nope.
For one, I smiled at a man, and he came up to me directly and pushed me and said,
Yeah.
"You're a loser." So then I was like, I think I'm done with that.
It could have been.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
But you don't know that.
Did you know that guy was elected to do that?
I was gonna say you
The
don't
man-
know that. That's why
the man
you were smiling.
the
He might have seen you just stone faced and been like, "That guy is a loser."
the guy, I saw him around the area very frequently because he was a mentally unstable person.
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, it's hard to get that news from that kind of a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
We also-
I had an inkling, but
We also had an incident in the recent past involving a money question. Well, several different kinds of questions.
Yeah.
But specifically a money question, where we became incredibly incurious about who that
Sure.
was.
yes,
Like as soon as we kind of finished the episode, it never came up again. We don't know who sent in the money question.
no,
Right.
we still don't, and we're gonna put a hit out on them.
No, that's
Or
not
no,
actually.
what was it? What was it? What are we doing?
We're gonna hire a contract killer. Oh wait.
Oh, okay, right.
No.
Not that. No.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mark,
There will be a reward
Yeah, dead or
for
alive.
their identity and location,
and
and like their regular schedule, and all
Yeah.
those sorts of.
Yes.
yeah,
Finer.
where do they
known
eat?
vulnerabilities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Any allergies?
Allergies.
Like
That's the best way.
it would be good.
These days,
Yeah.
imagine how many people you could kill with gluten.
Just
yeah,
a peanut.
That's true.
Ooh, or
That's
just a
true.
peanut.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they're going to take our guns and then they're going to take our bread.
Yeah.
Right. And our peanuts.
And
Or pea
peanuts.
shooters.
Yeah,
Peanut shooters.
peanut
Yeah.
shooters. Yeah. So who is it? Who sent the
Who
money?
sent in the money?
Mm.
It's a mystery that we'd love to solve.
There's
Um,
an Ansel Adams stamp.
Is it a
on
forever
the-
stamp?
Yeah.
What's
So-
a forever stamp?
If you have information leading to the capture and ultimately demise
Yes.
of the money questioner,
Right.
we would love to have that.
Mhm.
And there is a reward.
But you can't do it yourself. If it's you, be quiet.
Yeah.
We kind of want a little game.
Yeah,
We love the thrill of the chase.
it's true.
Like romance.
We have a kind of romantic view
Yes, of killing
It's true.
people.
of killing people who are just helping us out with our podcast.
We're being taught how we're gonna relate to this person.
That's right. That's right.
Probably hard to get.
Yeah.
So there will be a $2 reward
Mhm.
for any information leading to our apprehension of this person.
It's
Yep.
it is the maximum that we can allocate to that reward
Yeah.
because it's the entire budget of the show.
the entire budget of
It's all of the money that
Which
we've
is-
had come in, and so $1 seems too low.
$1 does seem too low, and so you can see how much we want this guy.
I can imagine
Yeah.
somebody listening to this podcast and hearing that the reward is $1 and just paying no attention, and then I can
Yeah.
imagine them hearing that it's $2.
Oh boy!
And I could see them really perk up.
And,
Yeah.
and to be clear, they did send us a $2 bill.
Yes.
But that does not guarantee that that's the denomination of the
This is what I
currency
imagine.
you'll receive.
There is a contract killer listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
He just listens regularly,
Right.
just for fun,
Yeah.
like a lot of people do.
Well, he's got time between hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
It's gotta
he's
be
sitting
filled.
there. He hears us mention that we're gonna want to have someone taken care of.
Uh-huh.
He starts putting on a glove.
Yeah. Right away.
He hears we say ostensibly in this case we say it's going to be $1.
Yeah.
He takes the glove off.
Yeah.
Then I say I think it should be $2.
Yeah.
Puts it back.
He puts the glove back
Yeah.
on.
Back. And
And
he
then
goes,
there's a glint in his eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see just a tiny little diamond-shaped glint in
Yep.
his eye.
And then what happens is we zoom in on that glint.
Yeah.
Okay.
The glint turns into a drop of blood
Yeah.
that then hits the ground and splats
Yeah.
into the shape of a money sign
Yeah.
because that's his
Crazy.
life.
Yeah. His whole
And-
life is blood money.
And then this killer, this hardened killer,
Yeah.
maybe we could call him Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
I think
Clint
this.
Eastwood.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no reason not to do that.
His name is Clint
He
Eastwood.
gets that name because every time he hears a contract offered
Yeah.
and an amount of money that he likes, he gets
Sorry.
a glint in his eye.
And what I should say, it's a little different than I said right at the top.
Okay.
In that it is
Okay,
one
Hillary.
eye is a dollar sign and one eye is a drop of
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
So you start there, and then it gets the glint, and then the glint,
Yeah.
and then it goes back to the blood on the ground, and then
Yeah.
that goes into a dollar.
Is the
sign.
glint like the shine?
It is Clint Eastwood.
It's not that. I mean, some people have said that I'm. Yeah,
that
you
you
need to be
have
careful how I
right.
talk about it
Okay.
Oh, okay.
because there could be lawsuits.
Oh, right. That it's copyright infringement
Right.
or something.
Do
Gotcha.
you think Clint Eastwood would play the role of Dirty Gary?
Yeah, probably.
I would hire him to play Dirty Gary.
Yeah.
What about Hurdy Gary?
Hurdy? Because he's a killer.
He hurts
Yeah.
people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's
No.
no, that's
You
fine.
still want him to be dirty?
I
instead
mean,
of
I thought Clint Eastwood. I think if we get to Hurdy Gary,
Yeah.
we're running pretty far afield from
Oh, okay.
from the
Yeah.
I just don't think it works.
Now
I
people
think
don't
Dirty,
understand
I think
it
Dirty
all.
Gary is really good.
It's good. It's worth fighting over it. Now, here's something.
What?
Shirty Harry.
Yeah.
Is there anything with that? Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
hair shirt?
Yeah, he's
Right?
like
Okay.
a
He's a
he's
monk.
like a penitent.
Yeah.
Penitent. Yeah.
Yeah. So after all the killing, he is finds
Mm.
God and
Brother
you know.
Cadfile.
Yeah.
yeah, or could be Sister Cadfile.
Yeah. After a period of penitence.
You know,
Yeah.
we could be like Alien. We're not writing this with the sex of the person in mind here.
Oh, okay.
Could be
Well, Brother is just the name. I mean, that is the name of that series immediately. Is Brother Cadfile.
And was he?
okay, but what if it was Sister Cadfile?
Then they would be less logic going on in the
Yeah.
story.
well,
Oh,
I
okay.
guess part of, and I guess one of my questions would be, also,
Would just depend on what time of the month.
what was there a real obstacle? Is that part of the conceit of Brother Cadfile? Is that it's hard for him to keep his mind on kind of tracing these crimes because he is distracted by his hair shirt and the various acts of that's a real difficulty.
It's
Like
under
in Monk,
Yeah.
he has a built-in kind of problem because
Okay.
of his obsessive compulsive.
Yeah.
Disorder.
Disorder.
Right? Yes. I mean, I think it's the subtext.
Yeah.
Because you're like, Brother Cadfile sees another crime, and it reminds him of his life of crime that he
Yeah.
led before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's crime exactly, but
Yeah.
unseemly things
Right.
that he led before he became a monk,
Yeah.
a detective monk.
Yeah.
Can
And
I?
so
Breaks
sorry.
out the
It's
hair
hard.
shirt, and
Yeah.
now he's like, "Oh no, now I can't even pay attention to all the clues."
This is a bit of a sidetrack here, but
Okay.
can I tell you about a subtext I got recently?
Oh yeah, I want to hear about
My
this.
Jersey Mike's order got delivered.
Yeah, baby.
They texted you. They said,
Yeah.
"Your sandwich is there.
Yeah.
Your submarine sandwich."
What's up?
Subtext.
What's up?
What's
up?
up? What's up?
Yeah. But I guess
In answer to John's question,
Yeah.
why do girls like romance more than boys? Why is that?
I think it's got to be their expectation, so that because the men don't naturally have that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it's like a way of, it's like the call and response. I don't know. You know?
I think it's honestly just because like love and hearts are pink.
I
And girls
forgot
like
about
pink.
that whole thing.
So
Love and hearts are pink.
and girls like pink.
Girls like the color pink. Therefore, very easy.
They're just more into it.
Yeah.
It's just on their end of the spectrum.
If hearts were a more male color,
Like a green, like an olive drab.
Yeah. If hearts were like blue.
yeah, then it would be a boys thing, and boys would be, you know, they would not be called chick flicks.
Right.
Yeah. It'd
Yeah.
be boy shows.
Yeah.
Guy guy films.
Sure.
Guy, or I mean, the way that I'm going with it, I mean, it's going to make a lot of work for you, Josh.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not going to say it.
Smart.
Yeah. Hope that helps, John.
It is a good question.
It's
Yeah.
a good question.
And I feel like we've answered it. So
Yeah.
I would
so,
like to
so no complaints.
No complaints from
this
anyone.
time.
We heard the question clearly. It was asked very clearly.
Yeah. Yes.
All of you adult questioners out there,
yeah.
and maybe you question yourself now. This child
Yeah, asked
know,
a good question.
asked probably the best question of the year so far.
Started
In some
a
ways,
good conversation, like a real
kind
good
of-
conversation.
Kind of
Yeah.
defeated us,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I mean, if
We don't
I'm-
really come here to have meaningful, like trying to figure stuff out kinds of conversation. Like
Right.
we want to help people. That's usually easy enough for us to do, that we can do that and kind of have fun along the
Oh,
way.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
this was just defeated us.
Oh, we got owned this time.
great question. Bad episode. No, I'm just kidding, John.
Thanks for listening to Advanced Answering Techniques. You can send us your questions. Send them to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're usually looking for an audio file about a minute in length, but we're pretty flexible about what you send us.
If you want your question to be treated this way, I like that
You like that?
as a framing
Yep.
mechanism that you've been using lately, Josh.
Yep.
So good work on that. You know, we got to balance out the negative feedback with some positive. So
Yes, we would love to have any positive feedback.
Yeah, if people could, I don't know.
I mean,
send us. You guys want to put our address up there? If you guys want to send us some Sherry's berries or something,
Sherry's
Yes.
berries.
some flowers,
yeah.
some.
I
I don't know.
mean-
What are those boxes with full of cool stuff?
Yeah, can you send us like a geek box
Like
full of all kinds
like
of
an-
like stuff with our favorite characters?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yes. A box, like a loot crate
Yeah,
for like
Yes.
adults.
The humble bundle.
Yeah. Send us
I
something.
don't know what
that's
that
like-
is, but
The Humble Bundle was software,
is it software? Okay.
but I would like real stuff I can put my hands on.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.